Kiki, Sean, Caroline, thank you so much for coming up to the press conference. Coach, if you wouldn't mind, a few comments to open us up.
Really proud of my group, period. I thought we fought. I thought we came out the aggressor. I thought we put it on them pretty good to start, and eventually I just thought we ran out of gas a little bit. And when you run out of gas against that press, it doesn't bode well for you. And I'm really proud of what this group did today and all year long. And I couldn't be prouder of them.
Great. Thank you. For those of you who have questions, raise your hand. We'll get the microphone to you.
Shea Metlin, Daily News Record, Harrisburg. You talk about running out of gas against the press, and it also seemed like, probably late in the second quarter, did the game get more physical towards mid-court? What were the factors as far as like the press not affecting you so much early in the game and then eventually causing a lot of turnovers?
I'm going to tread lightly on that one a little bit, Shane. We were in severe foul trouble in the second quarter. Jamia had 2, Peyton had 2, Susha had 2, Kobe had 2. So you're taking away really 4 starters in my mind. So you're asking a different group to break the press a little bit more than they're used to. Claire didn't get as many reps as Kobe did, or Steph, right? Oh, Steph had 2 fouls too, don't forget that one. So I thought foul trouble affected it, 1. So now you're asking where maybe we could get Kiki a break or we could get Caroline a break. We didn't have that luxury. They had to kind of play through that, and I still thought they did. We're going into the half up 3. 9 turnovers is too many. They only had 4 steals. I thought we did a good job through it. And that's what a pressing team does. It might only take 2 minutes for it to be a 8-2, 10-2 run, and it just happens fast. But yeah, I don't think the. I'll leave that alone. I just thought, it gets physical in traps. And I just thought we were okay. I thought the run towards the second and then early third, I just thought we didn't have the same bounce to it. But I think foul trouble, and not to say we didn't foul, right? But foul trouble affects our rotation and who's in the game. So that's what I think a little bit more of it was.
And, we're across town last night, and we watched Purdue go on a run, and Fairleigh Dickinson answers, and that was sort of panic time in that game.
Yeah.
You guys came back, took the lead again after they went on their run, but they didn't seem to kind of have any panic. Was there something about the makeup of their team that, they were built for this kind of game and moment?
I don't know. I don't know enough about their team.
I think we're built for it too.
Yeah.
They just beat us today. We're built for it.
Yeah, I just think, there's a lot of factors that go into not scoring more points than them. But yeah, I don't know anything about Ohio State other than what it says on my scouting report.
No reflection from the Daily News Record. This for Kiki and Caroline. How difficult was their press to break, especially once they got on a run and the crowd started getting into it and it seemed like they were playing physical, but at the same time how hard was it at that point?
We were ready for that press. It's just like they were aggressive, very aggressive, and they were very long. So sometimes it's hard, like being small, sometimes it's hard to see the floor. But I think also our composure throughout the game was not as good as from the beginning with foul trouble and just like keep our energy on the same level for 40 minutes. So I think that's what got us too.
This is for Kiki. I'm Mike Ayres from the Columbus Dispatch. The women's game has grown, this tournament has grown so much in my lifetime, for instance. You won't be able to play at a time when all the first and second round games will be played at neutral sites. Do you hope to live to see that day?
Yes.
I'll follow up on that. For Sean and both players, but as a mid-major coach who's, even in their best seasons, mid-majors don't often get to host, would you like to see that eventually happen where there are neutral sites in the early rounds?
I mean, you know, I haven't put much thought into it, to be very honest with you. There's added, there's a couple things. I'll go with that. So this crowd is awesome, right? And if this game is being played in Topeka, Kansas, with the same teams, the crowd's not going to be as good, right? That's the fact of it. Now, it's a distinct advantage, of course, for Ohio State, but crowd is good. Now, can you find a place like Pensacola, Florida, where the Sun Belt Conference does it, which is like, to me, is off the charts, how they do it, where they do it. Now they've done it year after year, and now you do have a fan base of people in Pensacola added with Ohio State, JMU fans, and St. John's and all that, right, where it's consistent. I think that's maybe your next step if you're going to go neutral. It has to be it can't be bouncing around, because, you know, my experience has been neutral, right? You know, my first year we were at ODU, we played Temple, right? My next year was at UVA, we played Oklahoma. Like that was fun for me, but we're also regional to those places where it's a 3-hour drive to ODU, an hour drive to Virginia. So I can't say blanket, right? Like that's what it has to be. In my mind, yeah, you think, right? The same as the men, that's where all these upsets are happening. And I do think if we play Ohio State on a neutral floor, it doesn't mean we beat Ohio State, but it does level the playing field a little bit, right? You're not playing in front, you're playing a road game. So from my perspective, yeah, would it be better to play on a neutral floor? Absolutely. But I don't know what's best for the game, right? And I don't want to speak to that necessarily. For right now, I know we were seeded 14th. My goal in my head is let's find a way not to be seeded 14th. If you get to 12, it's neutral. 12, 11, 10, all that stuff is neutral. So you right, for one round. But get to 12, that's my whole mindset. What can I control? And what I can control is who we schedule, right? Who we beat. And if we can do those things, yeah, I think we can get to 12. We're not far off of 12. I think it's an inch of a line. And you know, we weren't perfect this year. You know, we lose to Georgia Southern twice. We lose to Coastal, Marshall, right? So like those teams are not top 50 teams, and we lose to them. So it dropped us down a little bit. So I went a lot of different ways with that question, right? But I don't know the answer for women's basketball in general. I know that atmosphere is good basketball atmosphere. I enjoy that. Like that to me is fun. It doesn't get in my bones. It's like, yeah, this is fun. This is what it's supposed to be. I would rather that over an empty gym any day of the week, any day.
Coach, what do these two players sitting up there with you kind of mean to this team after, you know, making your first tournament since 2016, your first as a head coach, you know, winning conference tournament, you know, what do these two seniors mean to this team?
Man, that was my button to push, huh? Look, individually, Noah, two extremely different people to me in my life, okay? I've known Kiki for 7 years. I mean, Kiki's come watch my daughter play basketball. Like, she's been family in my life for a long time, okay? And to me, she's exactly what I want this program built on, which is a enthusiastic basketball mind. I mean, you talk about loyal, right? Like, always been family and always wanted that relationship. The amount of time and discussions we've had, it means it's drastic. I can't even explain how much this one means to me right here, okay? And my point in telling you that in that way is that I've known Caroline. My first phone call with Caroline was May. And I think it's absolutely unbelievable what she's done for this program and myself and her teammates since she got here in August. So it's 8 months. And that's what this is becoming. But I've had a grad transfer come in before, and it doesn't have that much impact. And so I can't say my level of appreciation enough in words. I'm not good enough with words. I'm pretty good at math. I'm not as good with words. But her approach, her how hard she works, her never in a bad mood, workmanship mentality, team first, like it permeates through the whole team. And like I'm indebted to both of them in very, very different ways for the rest of my life. Period. Because with these two changed this culture back to where it should be. Period. No doubt about it. And so this one's been family for like 5 years. She is now, there's no doubt in my mind. I don't care. She could be outside of Paris, France, and call me and say, I need some help. It's like, here we go. I'll get on that 6.5 hour flight. I'll be there. Like in a heartbeat, because this program belongs right here. And these two spearheaded to get back here. And I'm forever indebted to both of them for that.
And then following up on that for Caroline and Kiki, you hear that, what is it like to hear that, especially, getting this program back to the NCAA tournament, kind of where it used to be and now kind of where they want it to stay?
I just think it's what Coach O deserves. It's never a bad day with him. He always wants the best for us, whether that's on the court or off the court. So, like, I'm hurt that the outcome was this. Like you said, it's family. Coach O's been my guy for 4 years.
Look, but she said, like, I'm just so grateful that I've been part of this journey. James Madison was what I was looking for. And then thank you, Coach O, for, like, trusting me every day. And then thanks to my teammates, too, like, in such a short time. They make me smile every day, so that's really good.
For Sean and Kiki, both JMU over the past couple of years past 3 years, I guess, has had seasons that just ended when they, weren't supposed to. Obviously, tough moment, emotional moment, but what's it feel like to have played it through and played it out for the first time in a while?
I think it feels good. We proved a lot of people wrong. Whether they was on our side or not, we proved them wrong. Like I said, this is what Coach O deserves. Like, he doesn't get everything he deserves. He doesn't get the recognition he deserves. But if y'all seen his eyes in the morning, it's like he hasn't slept. And we knew, like, whatever game plan we had, we were going to buy into it because that's what he, like, thought it was good. Okay, we're going to do it. And that's what all the coaches, that's what everything about JMU. So, yeah.
Sean, you want to comment on that?
Oh, I forget. Sorry. What? No, okay. Yeah, I got you. Sorry. No, it's what it's supposed to be. Like, I did think, I called, I don't want to say his name, but I called one of, I called a friend, let's say a friend. And right before we played down at Elon in the conference tournament 2 years ago. And Rain Tucker, our center at the starting center at the time, who had just had back-to-back games of 20-plus against Delaware at home, tore ACL up at Drexel. And I called him and I said, hey, look, I'm just letting you know, man, Rain Tucker tore ACL. And he was like, man, you're snake bitten. And for a second, it was like, am I snake bitten? Because it seems like we got all these really good teams, and it just can't, Lexi Barrier, Kamaya Smalls break their hands in back-to-back games. I've never heard of stuff like that before. And so, yeah, you think about that for a what do they say, New York minute? Or you think about it for a New York minute, and then you just get back to work and put your hard hat on. So, like, I'm just really happy. Our team, I really believe, like, belongs here, like, every single year. I think we get great student athletes. I think we treat them right. Okay, our administration treats them the right way. We don't hold anything back. We feed them right. We give them gear. We do everything, in my mind, right. And so when we get high-level student athletes and you treat them right, yeah, this is where we should be playing every year. And so, yeah, I don't want to stand that way if I was snake bitten, but I'm not, Shane, right? And so to me, this is where it's supposed to be, and we're here. And it's what I wanted to explain to them was, like, take a minute and understand why you got here and how you got here, because it's hard to do. It's really, really hard to do. So take a second, let it seep in what it took to get here, because you're going to have to do it again next year. You're going to have to reset yourself, and it's going to be a new cast of characters, and we got to get back right here because this is where we belong. And hopefully, you earned yourself a higher seed because now you know what it is. You've tasted this. You've tasted this. But I firmly believe in life, you can't have sweet without sour. Cannot have sweet without sour. So, like, yeah, we had our sour. Okay, now it's time. This was sweet. Being here was sweet. And by the way, the city of Columbus was awesome. Our hotel was awesome. Treated us really, really well. For the record, shout out Columbus.
Thank you. Any other questions? Sean, Kiki, Caroline, thank you very much.
you, guys.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you,
the
guys.
NCAA season.